What's up, Banter fam? My name's Miles, and in today's show, I'm going to be showing you how to use the two AI tools, ChatGPT and Google's Bard, to research crypto gems, which could potentially help you find the next big altcoin. We're going to be using the power of ChatGPT and Bard to go through white papers to analyze cryptocurrencies, their features, benefits, and disadvantages, as well as combining that with a very powerful AI tool, which can allow us to become the ultimate crypto researchers via utilizing the power of AI. So for this video, all you are going to need is access to ChatGPT and Bard, because I've done all the prompts for you. So I have spent hours of my own time developing the correct prompts that I'm going to leave in the description to help you research cryptocurrencies to become a better investor. So with this new AI series I'm doing, I'm going to be basically teaching you how to improve your investments to become a more profitable investor, but I'm going to do the work for you. Find the prompts, find the best strategies that work, because despite common belief, using ChatGPT and Bard to their most effective capacity actually does require some skill, and it takes some time, and hopefully in this series I can teach you and help you be able to do that to help you on your crypto journey. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So basically, the first thing I want to show you how to do on ChatGPT is how to use it to find crypto white papers. Now, obviously, white papers contain the most important information about a project, and what we want to do here is actually feed ChatGPT the data so you can put it to work. The thing with these AI tools is they're only as good as the information that you give them. More information you give them, then we can use the prompts that I've discovered in order to dissect that information and use it to help us research. So I want to divide white paper research up into step A and step B. So step A would be if you don't know exactly what project that you want to research, but you want to find a white paper in a specific niche. So you want to enter in white papers on a niche that you want to research, for example, decentralized finance. And what it will do is it will name some notable projects in this niche in case you're lost and you simply want somewhere to start. This can be particularly useful if you want to research specific individual niches, for example, interoperability or crypto gaming, if you want a head start here. Now, just remember, ChatGPT is only provided with internet data up until 2021. Bard does have internet data, but what I found, because I've been using both, is that ChatGPT actually does a much better job with white papers, but there are certain things that we will use on Bard. So that's why basically you want to use both in tandem with each other, because ChatGPT excels in some areas and Bard excels in other areas. So what you want to do is pick a project, for example, Uniswap, from this list, copy it into Bard. So we want to use Bard for this because, in my opinion, it does a much better job at summarizing white papers. So you want to pick a project, enter in white paper of Uniswap, for example, and what it's going to do is generate a summary of the white paper. So you can use ChatGPT to find a project white paper that you would like to research in a specific niche, for example, DeFi, and then enter it into Bard to get a summary. Now, step B of finding a white paper is simply researching your own. For example, you could go onto CoinGecko, look at a project that you want to research, for example, Ethereum, and get Ethereum's white paper link off the internet, or Solana, you can get Solana's white paper link off the internet, and this is where things get really fun. Researching white papers where you already know the project in question, which enables you to leverage the power of AI to go a lot deeper. I'm going to run you through step by step what you can actually do with ChatGPT and Bard to research these white papers. And it's really, really cool. Honestly, it has been one of the biggest changes to the way I've been researching personally, and I want to share it with you right now. So let's start with a coin that obviously everyone knows, Bitcoin. So let's go into Bard, let's create a new chat, because every time we enter a new prompt, we want to create a new chat so it doesn't get confused. One of the really good things about ChatGPT and Bard is that they can actually take in data, and based on your inputs, they can remember previous things that you've said in order to kind of tailor the conversation in a natural way, like a human would. However, when it comes to providing new information, you always want to create a new chat in order to reset it. So it can be a blessing and a curse depending on the topic you want to research. So to get a summary of the Bitcoin white paper here, all we want to do is go into Bard and enter Bitcoin white paper. So what it's going to do is it's going to get us the source material of the Bitcoin white paper and give us a draft. But what you can do to get a concise summary, for example, if you're researching a project with a 20-page white paper and it's really difficult, you simply just want to ask, summarize it. And what this is going to do is condense this into an easy to understand summary. For example, after taking in the Bitcoin white paper, it can summarize it into these 4 points. Bitcoin's a peer-to-peer cash system. Bitcoin transactions are verified by network participants. Bitcoin uses cryptography. Obviously, it's a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin transactions are pseudonymous. Bitcoin is a decentralized system. And that basically can summarize it for you to give you more information in a concise format. Now what you can actually do is you can enter it in again. So Bitcoin white paper, and we can go one step further now and actually use Bard to provide context, because when we research white papers in crypto, a lot of this lingo can be really confusing, right? So you might see a white paper like this in front of you and kind of think, well, there's a lot of lingo here. There's buzzwords, for example, increased security, censorship, that kind of stuff. What does that actually mean? Well, you can actually use this really cool prompt on any project, by the way, which is explain the X white paper using a real world example. If you enter this into Bard after asking it for a white paper, what it's going to do is actually contextualize it in the real world to make it easier to understand. Now, this is extremely beneficial, especially for smaller altcoin projects, which you may not understand. If a project is talking about how it's got some, metaverse, interoperability, bridge play that just makes no sense, you can actually use the white paper on Bard to get a condensed real world example that will help you. So for Bitcoin, Bard is providing us an example. It's saying, let's say you want to buy coffee from a coffee shop. Traditionally, you'd use a credit card. The coffee shop would then send credit card to the credit card company, which would verify the transaction and then send the money to the coffee shop. This process can take seconds or even a few minutes with a transaction fee. With Bitcoin, you can make the same payment without the need for credit or a third party. You would simply scan it on the wallet app and enter the amount you'd want to pay. The Bitcoin network would verify the transaction and the money would be sent to the coffee shop. That's just an example of a payment, but it also gives you some deeper details on the way that things work. So how transactions work, how blocks work, mining and rewards, etc. That's just one example. Let's use another example using an altcoin. So I explained before that you could actually pick your own white paper, for example, Solana, which is, a huge 32-page document, and get a concise summary on Bard if you provided the link. Now, all you need to do for a summary here is give it the link. You don't even need to ask it anything. And note we are using Bard here, not ChatGPT. Make sure if you're following the steps along with me at home, you use the AI tool that I'm giving you, because I've gone through and I've tested this on both for every single variable. And I realized, as I said before, what works better on ChatGPT and what works better on Bard. So I just gave it the link to the Solana white paper, which I found online, which obviously you will either use a project that you know, or if you're researching and come across a project on CoinGecko, you can find the white paper that way and then enter it into Bard. It has given me now a summary here on some of its benefits. So high throughput, low latency, security, decentralization. But let's get it to actually summarize Solana. So I know the white paper is really long. It's 32 pages. It already gave us a summary, but let's get an even more concise summary. So it gives us some of the benefits here. It tells us what problems in blockchain it's trying to solve. It shows us the consensus mechanism, how many transactions per second it can process, etc. So we have now condensed a 32-page white paper all the way into basically one paragraph with the key points. Now, it is going to miss some things. There are follow-up questions that you can use to find out more, but how handy is this? Being able to concise research in this manner to save you a lot of time whenever you're researching a new project now, instead of spending hours reading through white papers, which I personally hate. This is an easy way to get information in a much more efficient manner. And just like with Bitcoin, we can ask it, explain the Solana white paper using a real world example. So once again, you can contextualize it in the real world if you don't even understand what an L1 is. For example, imagine you're a merchant who wants to accept crypto. You could use Bitcoin or Ethereum, but these blockchains are slow and expensive. Actually, very smart that Bard already knows the main pain point and the reason why alt L1s like Solana exist, the expensiveness of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also the slowness of them. A single Bitcoin transaction could take up to 10 minutes. Fees can be high, especially during periods of network activity. Solana, on the other hand, can process up to 50,000 transactions per second with fees that are a fraction of the penny. This means that you could accept payments in cryptocurrency without having to worry about long wait fees or high fees, and it basically shows you exactly the steps that it would take to conduct a transaction. So that is really, really, really cool. But that is just scratching the surface of what ChatGPT and Bard can do when it comes to white papers. So let's move on to step 3, which is digging deeper. So because of the conversational nature of these tools, and the fact that it can actually take information in and tailor its responses based on info you give it, gives it a superpower to be able to go really deep on one specific angle. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So let's go ahead and reset the chat here on Bard. This step 3 is called dig deeper for a reason, because this is where, okay, we have the overview of the project. Now we know what it is. Now we have a summary. Now we have a real world example. Let's go deeper on the problems of a network to really help boost your understanding. Now, this is something you're not going to be able to do just from researching a project white paper. You're not going to get a full understanding of the problems and the benefits with a project, but with Bard, you actually can. So let's use Bitcoin as the example again. So we want to go through all the steps in a new chat so Bard doesn't get confused. So we want to enter in Bitcoin white paper. It's going to give us the white paper. We follow the previous steps. We ask it to summarize it. It's going to create a summary. In the summary, you will notice it may speak about a problem. So you see this very first line here. It says there is a problem with the traditional payment system. Now, you can pick any angle throughout the summary that you would like to elaborate on, but I want Bard to tell me about this problem. I want to actually know a bit more about what the problem is and how Bitcoin might be able to solve it. So I'm going to enter a prompt. Can you elaborate on the problem point? Now, you can get it to elaborate on any of these points. The security solution, the benefits, any of that. But I wanted to elaborate on the problem. So here, it's actually spelling out the problems with the traditional system. It's centralization, the third-party reliance, the transaction fees, the inflexibility, and it shows us how Bitcoin does a better job at handling those factors. Now, if you want it to actually condense how Bitcoin does a better job, you would simply ask it, how does Bitcoin solve this? And what it's going to do now is tell you exactly how Bitcoin solves these 4 problems that it first mentioned. So it tells us here, Bitcoin solves the problems by using a peer-to-peer network. This means there's no central authority and transactions can be processed directly between users without the need for a third party. Now remember, I've tried all these prompts myself. The reason I'm wording things in a very specific way is because these are the prompts that I've found to be the most effective. You, of course, can experiment with your own prompts, your own way of wording things, but I spent hours going through and asking it in a very concise and direct manner has been the best approach for Bard. But we can go even further and we can ask it to give us a real example of how Bitcoin solves this problem. Because, once again, very theoretical, you know, it helps solve centralization, it helps solve inflexibility, third-party reliance, transaction fees, very broad. I want to know a real-world example again. So it's just given me, with this prompt, real-world examples of how it can help alleviate the pressure of high transaction fees and how it can help resolve the problem of third-party reliance. Very cool. So we've started with a white paper, and we've gone all the way into narrowing down the specific way that the Bitcoin network can mitigate some of the detriments of centralization. That's very cool. And of course, I want to make this clear, you can ask anything. So you can ask any question you would like. Those are just the prompts that I found to be particularly helpful. Now, let's do something very, very cool. One brilliant feature of Bard is that you can now compare 2 projects with each other. So if you don't know which project you want to pick for your portfolio, let's say, you know, you want to invest in an L1 and there's, you know, Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, �eyEVax, Solana, 𝗙𝗪𝗏, like there's so many altcoins. Which one do you pick? How do you, you know, quantify them versus each other? Well, one way you can now do it is by getting Bard to compare 2 white papers together. So all you need to do is pick 2 projects. I'm going to use �eyEVax and Solana as examples of this, source the white paper links to them online, and enter them in. You don't need to ask it anything, just simply send it the links to 2 white papers. What it is now going to do is it's going to give you an overview of both the white papers, Avalanche and Solana. All right, but let's go a step further. Let's ask them to create a summary of both of these projects. So what it's going to do now is it's going to give a quick summary of Avalanche and Solana. All right, this is cool because now we have an overview of some of the differences between the mechanisms, the efficiency, the TPS capabilities. But let's go a step further. Let's find the commonalities between them and the differences between them. So what you can do is search, what are the commonalities of the above projects for Avalanche and Solana? Now, it's showing us both are layer 1 blockchains, both are proof of stake, both are highly scalable, both have active growing developer communities, both have a strong focus on security. But now I want to know what the differences are. So I'm going to ask it, what are the differences of the above projects? And what it's going to now do is give us a very key variable when it comes to researching a project. Once you have the benefits and the negatives, you can start to use that to make objective investment decisions. Now, keep in mind, this gets a lot of information wrong. You're going to need to fact check things, especially when it comes to, the exact amount of token supply, that kind of stuff. Always have the actual white paper on hand. But this is a very good way to summarize things quickly and get a broad overview that's generally accurate. It's generally accurate when you give Bard a link. Bard is very bad at coming up with data. So if you ask it, hey, can I have the amount of transactions per second Solana does? It will often just give you a rubbish number. But if you actually paste the white paper in, you've given it a data point for it to go and scrub to give you more accurate data. So it's showing some of the difference. Avalanche is more scalable. Obviously, that's due to its subnet design. So there's nuance here. Security. Avalanche uses proof of stake and proof of work, while Solana uses proof of history. Energy efficiency. Avalanche is apparently more energy efficient. Once again, you want to look into it. So for example, you might want to ask, why is Avalanche more energy efficient than Solana? So don't just, stop it, just taking it as fact. Ask it, prod it. It's going to be able to give you a reason why it said that. So it's now creating an answer for us, and it says, here are the reasons why it's more energy efficient. Maybe that can help you kind of understand the project a little bit more. So now we have the data, we have the commonalities, we have the differences. Now it can give us actual advantages and disadvantages. So if we want to ask it what advantages Solana has over 𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗚, we can enter that prompt. What are some of the advantages Solana has over 𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗚? And it will tell us the advantages. And we can do the exact same. What are some advantages of 𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗚 over Solana? So now it's going to tell us some of the advantages on that side as well. One of which, maybe the energy efficiency of the network. So this is the ultimate tool now for project comparisons. This is an amazing tool because you could take two coins and you can not know much about those coins, or maybe having a hard decision behind researching the fundamentals of those coins. And now you can use these prompts that I've just laid out for you. And of course, those are going to be in the description to actually generate nice summaries with benefits, detriments, commonalities, and differences between two projects. Very, very cool. All right, that is my third step of research. Now, here is step 4 to white paper research, and it's probably one that you're going to enjoy the most, especially for the degens out there, and that is researching meme coins. Something very cool you can do with Bard is actually research meme coins and find potential meme coin gems via getting Bard to analyze a lot of the data with these meme coins. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But before we get into that, I want to show you about a tool, an AI tool that I mentioned at the start of the video that can actually help you find these coins. Because, if you're trying to find meme coins, right, you need a place to actually start and have the coins that you're interested in before getting Bard to summarize it. Bard does a very good job at finding data and scrubbing through that data and summarizing that data, but you need a place to start to actually find a meme coin. So one of the places that I've been using to identify new projects is KyberAI. It's a brand new AI software that uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to help give you on-chain information to help you become a better trader. So I want to quickly run you through KyberAI, what it can do, and how you can use it to find a meme coin project. KyberAI is also now an official partner of the AI show. They've built a very, very cool product which you can sign up to using the link in the description, but I'm going to quickly explain some of the things that KyberAI can do. The first thing that KyberAI can do is spot bullish signals with KyberScore. So basically what KyberScore is it's an advanced solution which is powered by machine learning algorithms to help identify bullish or bearish trends every 4 hours. So for example, if you're researching a meme coin, if something had a super high KyberScore, it might be because that KyberSwap's AI machine learning algorithms have picked up that signal is starting to flip bullish. Now, your typical trader would just look at the charts and they would see the price going up. But this goes a step further by actually giving you an objective score to spot signals. So that is the first way that you could find a coin, specifically, a meme coin, if you want to research it to find projects to make more informed trading decisions. And as you can see on your screen here, you can actually get the KyberScore here, which shows you the general sentiment of a project. It's a very cool statistic for working out general sentiment when it comes to trading using their score, which is obviously updated every 4 hours. And you can also see here, when you have a super bullish score, it will show you the history of that score and how it's evolved over time. So it shows you the 4-hour blocks where the sentiment may have been bearish, so you can see if a project has momentum. For example, example, if you have a few red scores in a row and then a sudden green score, that might be an indicator that there's been a big catalyst for that project specifically during that period, which is a big benefit. The other thing you can do with KyberAI to help in this regard is using their on-chain data on one interface to be able to get on-chain metrics in order to help you make better decisions. So what they do is they condense key indicators onto their dashboard here, which allows you to get a view of not only the technical analysis, but the on-chain analysis. So you see here, there's two tabs: technical analysis and on-chain analysis. On the technical analysis tab, well, it's got the charts with key levels, etc., and you can, draw on your own charts like you would on TradingView. On the on-chain analysis section, for every project, it's actually going to give you the total amount of trades, the total buys, the total sells. It'll give you information which can indicate the number of trades over a given time period. So an increase in trades may indicate that there is momentum being generated for that token, more interest being generated in that token, or less trades is a sign of less interest in that token. So it's a very cool on-chain signal which KyberAI processes as well. So over the next few weeks, I'll obviously be giving you a lot more of an insight into KyberAI, but those are two of the tools, the on-chain component and also the KyberScore, that can help you spot hot coins, especially hot meme coins. So once you've used this tool in order to get an idea about what projects you want to trade, then you can move over to Bard, which is the step I'm going to show you now. And you can use Bard in order to actually give you information on that project. And that ultimately could lead to an investing decision once you have the initial data. So if you are interested in using KyberAI as part of your daily crypto research, there's a link in the description. If you use that link, you can sign up with your email to get access to their whitelist. If you sign up for their whitelist and you get approved, then you can start using KyberAI in its beta before anyone else, which is really, really cool. So that offer is for people that use the ref link, using the link in the description, enter your email, sign up, and you will be good to go with KyberAI. So in terms of Bard researching meme coins, I'm actually going to give it 3 meme coins, 3 of the biggest in the market: Dogecoin, Shiba, and Flocky. All I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in the white papers of those tokens. You don't need to tell it anything. You can just enter in the 3 white papers. This is very cool. What it's automatically going to do if you enter 3 tokens is give you a chart, which, by the way, you can export to Google Sheets, which is a very cool feature of some of the benefits. So you can see what blockchain it's on, the total supply, if it's deflationary, if it's endorsed by Elon Musk. Some of these are very random, but you can obviously update it, give it prompts to update this. For example, you could ask it, can I have the token supply? Could you please add the token supply to the chart? It will. Or you can ask it, I want to get rid of the Elon Musk thing. I don't like it. And it will automatically update the table. So that's one of the benefits. The table will update based on the prompts you give it. But for the sake of this example, I'm going to go with this table here. Now, in order to kind of work out, let's say you want to work out what the best altcoin is fundamentally. You want to work out a little bit more about the benefits of all 3 of them and which one might be right for you. You can list the advantages and disadvantages of each of these coins. So it's going to go through all 3 tokens at once and find the advantages and disadvantages. So we see for Shiba, you have the advantages, disadvantages. So advantages: deflationary, community, low cost; disadvantages: volatility, real world use cases, and it's a risky investment. Same for Dogecoin, same for Flocky, and it can give you an idea as to some of the differences between them. And you can also get it to elaborate on any of these points. So if I say, elaborate on the high volatility for Shiba Inu, it's going to give us an insight into what high volatility actually means. Maybe you don't know what it means for some reason. It's going to show you why coins in crypto can have high volatility, speculation, trading volume, etc. And you can take some of this data. For example, if you see low trading volume here, you could actually use this data and go into KyberSwap's on-chain on KyberAI and look whether some of these factors actually line up with the real data on KyberAI. So you want to use kind of both in tandem with each other as a research tool. And there are other websites as well you can use in order to get on-chain data too. But you probably want to have 2 screens up at once when you research. You want to have one screen with ChatGPT or Bard, and then another screen with your KyberAI and on-chain analytical platforms to get real information. So that is very, very cool. Now, here is my last step of this video, my last tip for researching white papers on ChatGPT and Bard, and that is to look out for projects' future development. So let me contextualize this for you. You find out about a narrative. So liquid staking derivatives, you're seeing it on Twitter, people are talking about LSDs. You don't really know what LSDs are. So you know they're a thriving up-and-coming sector, but you don't know the project in that sector. You don't know how the sector really fits into crypto. You don't know how it can develop in the future. What Bard can do is it can use predictive modeling to actually predict trends in the future. Now, of course, it's not going to be correct all the time, but it gives you an idea as a thought experiment as to some of the benefits in the future. So I'm going to show you exactly what this means in the context of liquid staking projects. So once again, all the prompts used in today's video are going to be in the description to help you when you're doing this yourself. You may notice we're using Bard and not ChatGPT for a lot of these. That is because Bard, in my experience, works so much better than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very good for information prior to 2021, but when it comes to new information, Bard is going to be a lot better since it has internet access. You want to research about liquid staking derivatives? Well, you can use Bard to give you a list of projects in that niche. Now, of course, you could use a tool like DeFi Llama in order to find the top projects by TVL. That's probably what I would personally do. But if you just want to cut to the chase and get Bard to name some of them, you can say, name some liquid staking crypto projects. This will give you an idea of the projects in that niche. All right, it gives us some of the biggest ones: 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗘𝗣, Rocket Pool, Fractures, 𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗘𝗏. These are actually pretty much the 4 biggest. You can get it to compare the tokenomics. So let's say you want to go deeper on this niche. So compare the tokenomics of the above crypto projects. This will give you some of the tokenomics. Now, it is important that we do these prompts in order. The reason I'm doing these prompts in order and not just jumping into saying, what are the latest developments, what does the future hold, etc., is because I'm trying to get it to think about the data. Because remember, the flow of the conversation matters on Bard and ChatGPT, because it takes previous statements that you've made and information that you've given it and things that it said to help it understand how to better answer your question going forward. So once we have the information here, you can see it's come up with a really nice chart based on the token supply, circulating supply inflation rate. It actually even has utility, how Lido DAO distributes rewards in staked ETH tokens, how Rocket Pool distributes rewards, which can be used to stake, for how Fractshare does it, etc. Now you can ask it, what are the latest developments in the above mentioned projects? So this is where we're starting to now think in terms of the future. To stay up to date with these niches and maybe work out what's to come. So it's told us what Lido has recently announced, what Rocket Pool's recently announced, Frax and Anchor have recently announced. So off the back of that, what are some of the future updates mentioned in their white paper? So what are their roadmaps going forward? We can see Lido plans to extend support to other proof-of-stake networks. We can see Rocket Pool plans to launch a new bridge, Frax plans to launch stablecoin staking, etc. Of course, some of this might be outdated and Bard isn't always the most accurate, but at least it's giving you some sort of an idea as to what the future may hold. Now, you can also, like in some of the previous examples I've given you, get it to tell you advantages over its competitors. And what you can even do, this is very, very cool, is you can ask it to list the advantages and disadvantages of every liquid staking project with each other. So if you enter this, it's going to actually summarize all of these projects that it's just mentioned into advantages and disadvantages. So it can do multiple projects at once. I think it could do even up to 10 projects. Advantages, disadvantages on a table for you that you can export to sheets. Now, let's say the table's not detailed enough and it doesn't give us enough of an objective look. That's cool. We can actually ask it to make the table more detailed. And we can also ask it to add more projects to the above table. So let's say it only gives you 4. You want a more overview of, a bigger overview of the ecosystem. You can follow up this prompt with asking it to add more liquid staking projects to the above table, which is now much more detailed. So this is your personal crypto research assistant. That is the gist of this video, guys. The prompts in the description will obviously help you get an idea as to what you can do. How cool is this, that you have a personal crypto research assistant that can analyze and research white papers to help you find crypto gems and also just make, more informed decisions. Now, I'm not saying all the information is correct. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's outdated, but at least it helps you think. I think the most difficult part in crypto is the starting process of researching a project. If you can cut out that beginning process by using something like a Bard or a ChatGPT, that's going to help you immensely because it can help you think. All right, why might this be the case? Why might this be a disadvantage? Is this true? You might read something and think, does Lido have first mover advantage? And then maybe that puts you in a rabbit hole researching, what LSDs came first? How did LSDs originate? Blah, blah, blah. These are great starting points for you to become better researchers. So that's another really cool feature. Now, in the future, I'm going to be doing more in-depth videos on specifics. So this video was very broad, basically showing you how Bard can help you research white papers, get disadvantages, advantages, summaries, really cool stuff. But in future videos, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process for specific niches. So I'll run through the meme coin thing specifically with specific meme coin prompts. I can run through DeFi stuff with specific DeFi prompts. If that's something you would like, make sure to smash the like button and comment down below and tell me actually which sector you would like me to do an in-depth Bard tutorial on. So which sector would you like me to go really in-depth on? Is it finding meme coins? Is it finding, crypto gems? Is it DeFi? Is it Bitcoin and Ethereum? Just let me know, whatever you want, and we will go deep on that niche. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Remember, if you do want to take your on-chain trading to the next level, there is a link to KyberSwap in the description. If you use that referral code, you can sign up for the waitlist for their AI product, which is very cool, and it's actually going to go hand in hand with the steps that I showed you in today's video. So I hope you enjoyed that. And until the next one, I will see you later. Hope you have a lovely day and good luck with all your Bard and ChatGPT activity. I hope you can use it in your crypto research as effective as I've been able to use it over the past few weeks, because it's made a huge difference. And look, this is just the beginning. These are just basic language models. These things are going to get a lot better, and over time, I'm actually going to help you know how to use the latest developments as they develop, because as we get ChatGPT 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and Bard version 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to get new capabilities, and obviously that will come with new prompts that I will help you guys decipher. So link in the description to the prompts, and I will see you in the next show. Peace out.